For YouTube, it's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV back at y'all with another one. So Danny Swift Garcia says he wasn't that impressed with Errol Spence Jr., basically saying he did what he was supposed to do against a little guy. He said Mikey Garcia never fought at welterweight, not one day in his life. He said he didn't get knocked down, he didn't get dropped, and he wasn't in serious trouble. He never got hurt, and he didn't panic. He said he lasted all 12 rounds. He even had success against Errol Spence Jr. at points and times in the fight. He says that this victory does not make Errol Spence the #1 welterweight in the division. He said in the world, he says due to the fact that you can't get that title when you're beating a guy that small. He said what happened in that fight was a big guy beat a small guy, point blank and period. So he's stating that, what happened in the fight is just that simple. It's cut and dry. It's black and white. A big guy beat a small guy. He said Mikey Garcia didn't fight above the 140-pound division a day in his life. He never fought at welterweight, so he can't give him full props for that. He also said that he saw stuff in Errol Spence that he feel like he could exploit and he could take advantage of. He said definitely he saw stuff in the fight. Here's what Danny Swift Garcia had to say. And I find this ironic because Danny Swift Garcia had opportunities and times to make the fight between himself and Errol Spence Jr. He did allude to the fact that, the success that Mikey Garcia had and going the distance with, he said because there's other welterweights in the division and not that big. And Mikey Garcia pretty much gave him hope, is what Danny Garcia alluded to, right? He said, this is what he said. It was two good fighters going at it, but the bigger guy beat the smaller guy, point blank and period. That's how I took it. That's how I look at it. This is what he said, right? I don't think you can claim #1 welterweight off that victory. Mikey Garcia is a good fighter, but he's never fought at the welterweight division one day in his career, point blank and period. I think he could come back from this. Right, he says because Errol Spence didn't put it on him. He said he put it on him only in the 10th round. He says that's the round he put it on him real bad, but that's the only time he put it on him real bad. He said, but other than that, I think Mikey held his own. He never got knocked down. He never got worried. He didn't take a lot of bad punishment. I think Spence respected him. I think they respected each other a lot from what I was watching. I don't think it's going to affect him mentally. Referring to Mikey Garcia and talking about if Mikey Garcia could make a comeback, right? He also stated something else he stated. He said, I hope he didn't go into the fight thinking if I just go 12 rounds, I win. Meaning Mikey Garcia. He hopes that wasn't Mikey Garcia mindset to just survive 12 rounds and get a moral victory. He said, I think for a lot of other welterweights, after watching the fight, another welterweight might think there's a fight that they want against Spence. That's a fight that they want against Errol Spence. He says most of the elite welterweights are small, like 5'7", Keith Thurman, 5'7", Sean Porter, Terrence Crawford, 5'8". You understand? So he said, now speaking, referring to himself, oh yeah, I definitely think I see something. I think there's something that I can exploit, right? He said, I see a lot of things. Mikey did a great job. Mikey held his distance well. Mikey threw punches and landed punches. He just wasn't strong enough. At the end of the day, a big guy, he never fought above the welterweight division, point blank and period. So Danny Garcia is alluding to the fact that if Mikey Garcia had more power, he'd have had more success in the fight, and I highly disagree. I respectfully disagree with Danny Garcia, and I have this to say of Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia, you had ample opportunities and times to make the fight with Errol Spence. I don't know why it didn't come to fruition, but it just seems like Errol Spence would have took the fight. Errol Spence did pick Danny Garcia to beat Sean Porter, and at the end of it, when at the conclusion of it, Sean Porter was the victor, and Errol Spence thought that Danny Garcia won that fight, and he wanted to fight Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia has a fight coming up April 20th against Adrian Granados. After that fight, I'm pretty sure Errol Spence wouldn't mind making a fight with Danny Garcia, seeing as though he will be looking for a fight, a unification bout versus Sean Porter, or the big lucrative bout against Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. So I'm pretty sure he's going to look to get the fight with Manny Pacquiao first. If that falls through, he'll go the route of Sean Porter, and if that falls through, then he'll go the route Danny Garcia. But I'm pretty sure before 2019 is over, seeing as though looking like the Terrence Crawford fight might not happen until 2020. I'm pretty sure he could get in. Should he be victorious against Manny Pacquiao, and then he's victorious against Sean Porter, because either which way he's gonna go after Sean Porter and Manny Pacquiao, right? And then maybe after that he can get squeezed in a Danny Garcia fight. But now that I'm mentioning it, that seems like that won't happen in 2020 either, because he's already fought. So he probably won't fight more than 3 times in 2019. I could see him fighting Manny Pacquiao in July. Seems like that's the date. Seems like Manny Pacquiao is willing to make it happen. And then I can see at the end of the year he getting a fight with Sean Porter. Now Sean Porter has to stay active and stay victorious. So we're probably going to see Sean Porter versus Keith Thurman. And if Keith Thurman was to be successful against Sean Porter and get the belt back from Sean Porter, then you're not going to see a unification bout, because I don't think Keith Thurman will fight Errol Spence at the end of the year. Actually, Keith Thurman said he won't fight Errol Spence until 2020. So if he was victorious against Sean Porter, you're not going to see that fight. So then we probably could get Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia if that was the case. But that's all I got, man. I highly disagree with, I respectfully disagree with Danny Garcia. I believe that Errol Spence put on a masterclass boxing performance. I think that regardless of size, that it just showed me that if Mikey Garcia was a bigger fighter, or if Errol Spence was a smaller fighter, it would have been the same outcome, due to the fact that Errol Spence put on a boxing clinic. It wasn't like he went in there and just high guard and walked him down and tried to steamroll him, use his size. He didn't do that. He boxed, he used a jab, he used counters, he used different variations of his game. And so I have to respectfully disagree with Danny Garcia, because I don't think size played a part in this at all whatsoever. But that's all I got for y'all, man. It's your boy Blue. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. So Danny Garcia said he was not impressed with Errol Spence's victory over Mikey Garcia. It was just a case of a big guy beating a little guy, saying Mikey Garcia never fought above 140 pounds a day in his life. Well, not one time in his career. So, that's just what it was. A big guy beating a small guy. That's all I got for y'all. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Peace.